right, we're at 8-2. We'll keep the bill on call for absent members. Thank you. And your next bill up, item 5, is AB 1190. You may begin.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Hello again. AB 1190 will protect Californians, especially seniors, families, and low-income residents from paying excessive fees for registration renewals processed online through second-line business partners. No one should have to pay double or triple just to renew their car registration. However, some online vendors who are partners with the DMV are using websites that mimic the DMV's official website, which is misleading users to think that they are using the official government website instead of a third-party link. These businesses charge hidden and excessive fees with no limits, sometimes over $150 more than the DMV's actual fee, and then threaten legal action when customers try to dispute these charges. In one case, a customer was charged $956 for 2 registrations, only to discover $150 in hidden fees, and that only 1 transaction was processed. Between 2023 and 2024, these second-line business partners processed 7.5 million transactions and collected over $3.4 billion on the DMV's behalf. Essentially what you do is if you Google DMV car registration California, it is pretty easy to find yourself on a website that looks just like the DMV's website, but is in fact not the DMV's website, with little disclosure and much greater fees. AB 1190 will cap the fees that online second-line business partners can charge for registration renewals to no more than $29 per transaction, matching the existing cap applied to first-line business partners like car dealers and vehicle dismantlers. This will put an end to junk fees and exploitative markups that unfortunately are being facilitated by our own state government. This will also require these websites to prominently display a link to the DMV's official site along with a clear disclosure that the same services are available directly from the DMV at no added cost, ensuring consumers are informed before they pay. We also worked very closely with the chair and the staff to really change the bill. Initially, there was a 5% cap on all fees, and instead we all agreed that the existing $29 cap, applying that specifically to online second-line business partners, was the right way to do it and the fairest way for everyone, while protecting consumers and protecting those who are doing business with the DMV in a way that actually expands access. With me today in support of the bill is Robert Harrell on behalf of the Consumer Federation of California, who is also available to answer technical questions.
Hi, welcome, and you may proceed. You'll have a couple minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Robert Harrell, I'm the Executive Director of the Consumer Federation of California, here in support of this measure. I'll be brief. You have a lot still to hear from. The problem here is twofold. One is, in some cases, people being spoofed by sites that, through font size, every design, are intending to try to fool the consumer into thinking they're on the DMV website when they're not. The other problem that happens, irrespective of whether the site is spoofing the DMV website or not, is that people are searching, kind of California DMV, and they're winding up on a site that isn't the California DMV, and they're not sure about that. And then they find out after the fact they've been significantly upcharged for something that, if they went to the DMV's website directly, they wouldn't get charged that extra amount for. Only the 1.8% if they pay by credit card, which is essentially a pass-through. So that's the problem here. The bill, I would just also note for the committee, the bill's been significantly narrowed. It only now applies to registration services and online. In the long run, we think there are other high-profile transactions, but we think this is a really good place to start. It actually uses a cap amount that DMV uses on some of the first-line business partners, and it uses that amount. So what it's going to do in the situation that the author pointed out, for online registration services, it's going to bring that upcharge down all the way down to something in the neighborhood of $30. And that's indexed to inflation over time, but that's a big difference from what some of these sites are out there charging. So with all that said, happy to answer questions. We urge your support.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here for questions in case they come up. Is there anyone else in the room who would like to express a support position? Please come on up.
Good afternoon. Danny Kando-Kaiser on behalf of the California Low Income Consumer Coalition in support.
Mr. Chair, members, Ted Toppin on behalf of the California State Retirees, strongly in support.
Thank you. Seeing no one else come forward in support, do we have opposition witnesses? Oh. Welcome, and you'll have a couple minutes each, in whatever order you wish to start.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, John Winger, I'm here on behalf of Samba Safety. We do have an opposed position, but in the interest of time, I'll turn it over to Mohammed.
Hi. Good afternoon, Senators. My name is Mohammed Gatala. I'm with Sticker Quicker. We're a registration and title service provider in Fremont, California. I wanted to oppose the cap on charging the fees because it would severely impact our ability to process these transactions. We do have a lot of overhead. With our overhead, we are training our staff, we have insurance requirements, we have technology, all which continue to rise. And also, our services that we offer on our website are services that are not able to go through the DMV website. Some of them, not all of them. We are clearly stating what we are doing and that we're transparent with our customers, that we are not the DMV. And we help a lot of our customers in our office and online that don't have internet access by allowing them to call in. Our wait times are significantly lower for that. And also, we cover a lot of areas where DMV would not be able to reach. So, excuse me. The market also does regulate this because of the competition that's online. Every online provider knows what the online providers are charging, and same with our local providers. So we are not significantly charging more than the other ones to stay competitive with each other. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Is there anyone else in the committee room who wishes to express an opposition position? Please come forward. You ought to say your name, affiliation, and opposition.
Good afternoon. Meg Snyder with Axiom Advisors, here on behalf of eTags and strong opposition.
Greg Sanders with Car Registration Incorporated. We strongly oppose the bill. Yeah.
All right. Seeing no other opposition testimony, we'll come back to the committee for questions and comments. Senator Blakespear.
Yeah, I just want to commend the author for bringing forward this really important bill to reduce the reality that, and this is no disrespect to the companies that are doing this business, but there's no question that this is spoofing is the word that was used, spoofing, but it's basically a junk fee. I mean, in very small print to say we are not the DMV, but then to have the big bolded headlines that say you can renew your license here. I mean, it is tricking people into thinking that they are using a government service when they aren't. And I've seen this. We also receive these things in the mail. And it really is important that we eliminate this, or at least reduce the cost of it. If somebody wants what you call a white glove service where they don't have to deal with the administrative hassle, which I highly doubt there's actually a difference. They still have to fill out their license plate and their various information in order to be able to get a renewal in the first place. But being able to charge, a modest amount for that seems like something that is acceptable, but being able to charge egregiously high amounts seems like something we should be cracking down on. So I applaud the author for bringing this. I definitely support it, and I think we need to be looking at across a whole range of things to make sure that people are not being tricked into participating and paying exorbitant fees when they don't need to. So thank you. And at the appropriate time, I'll move it.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Anybody else? Senator Sardo.
Thank you. So I have a little bit of a different take on this. The first part of it, I totally agree, is our job to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's duping people into thinking that they are accessing a official website of an official government agency. And that part, yes, we need to make sure that they are not impersonating basically an official agency. The second part of it is when you're looking at capping fees and things. I had kind of a similar bill, only it was related to mail. And so now they have to put on the outside that, hey, this is, no matter how official the envelope looks, they have to put on the outside, this is an advertisement. So that takes away this issue where people are thinking that they're accessing the real DMV. Now, these companies, now consumers have a choice. They can either deal with sometimes an agency they hate dealing with, or they can use these third-party folks to do that. And there's a fee for that, third-party folks, and they need to be able to make that choice, whether they want to pay the fee and the original DMV charge, whatever that fee is. And if the fee is too high, then I would expect them as consumers to say, you know what, no, I'm not paying that much. I'm going to deal with the DMV myself. And so I feel like we're getting into an area of price capping companies that have a legitimate purpose, otherwise they wouldn't exist, while we're trying to take care of another problem that has popped up while they have been existing. And so I feel a little bit torn here because I want to support the one part of it, but I don't support the price cap part of it. I think that's a consumer choice, whether they are looking at this as this is something that they want to use. Then they get a choice of, well, it costs too much to use it, so I'm not going to use it, which would put pressure on whoever it is offering the service to lower their prices. Yeah, that's kind of where I sit on it, is in the middle. Sorry.
No, can I? Yeah, just quickly. So we are already doing this. The DMV already sets a maximum fee for industry partners that are, these are called the second line business partners. So they already do this at $29. So this is already a practice that we have. What we don't have any caps for or any limits for are these first line ones, these ones that are directly accessed by a consumer. And I guess for me, what makes this a little bit different and something that we don't want to just kind of let the market set the price for is that this is an essential service that all drivers in California, if you have a vehicle over 30 million, you need to go and get this. This is an essential service. And we're essentially allowing others to provide that service on our behalf. And when we do that, we should probably set some protections, either because people still may not necessarily know what their options are. I don't think they're going to all the different websites and shopping and putting it in their shopping cart and going down and doing a registration and finding out what the fees are at the end and then comparing them. We should protect our consumers, our drivers, our residents, just like we protect the other types of business partners that already are subject to this fee. And so for that reason, I think this is a fair way to do it. It's simply extending a cap that we already have for these second line business partners and applying it and extending it to our own residents, to our own drivers, and making sure they're getting a fair price for a service that is essential for them to be able to get on the road. And follow the law. You have to register your vehicle. This is not an optional thing.
All right, thank you, thank you, Assembly Member. Seeing no other comments, just want to say that this is, I think, a tough bill for the committee to work through. Appreciate your cooperation in working through it. Meaning a tough bill to figure out exactly where to land in some cases, and I think that was exemplified by Senator Blakespear and Senator Sourdo's differing take on things to some extent. So I appreciate our own committee staff, working hard on this. I don't think anyone is interested in, hurting legitimate businesses that are providing a service that is evidently in demand. Otherwise, people wouldn't use it. But at the same time, there are consumer protections here that we have to take a look at in Transportation Committee. So I am supporting the bill, and we'll give you an opportunity for any additional close that you want, Assemblyman.
Yeah, and I want to appreciate your work with us on this. This is a very narrowed version. We got this out of the Assembly with a 5% cap on a lot of different types of services. It wasn't online only. There's a lot of ways in which people are accessing services, and in some cases there is a sort of white glove element to it that you maybe know what you're getting into, and you're paying more for that, as Senator Blakespear said. So I think that this addresses this particular challenge with disclosure, with extending this $29 that's already there for second line business partners. I think it's a limited thing, but it makes a big difference in what I think is the most important concern here, which is folks going on and Googling DMV California services, ending up on a site that doesn't have any limits on how much they can charge them, and also may actually look near or exactly with the same fonts like the DMV website itself. Respectfully ask for a vote.
All right, well, thank you. We'll go to the assistant now for a roll call vote.
The motion is due pass to the Committee on Appropriations. Senators Cortese?
Aye.
Cortese, aye. Strickland?
Aye.
Strickland, aye. Archuleta?
Aye.
Archuleta, aye. Adelgin? Adelgin, aye. Blakespear? Cervantes? Dally? No. Gonzalez? Aye. Gonzalez, aye. Grayson? Grayson, aye. Limon? Menjivar? Richardson?
Aye.
Richardson, aye. Sayarto? Thunberg? Valadares? Aye. Valadares, aye.
Okay, we're at 8 ayes, 0 noes, and it's on call for absent members. And I'm going to ask the assistant, while our next author is coming up, to call the consent calendar, please.
The consent consists of file item 3, AB 272 by